Hey, my brothers and sisters, it's your boy Zach, and welcome back to another ZZZ theory. So, as we know, a lot of messed up things happen in New Eridu. Quite literally, almost every character in the game that we play as has a terrible backstory that leaves them traumatized in some way, shape, or form. On top of this, we know that the government does a lot of sketchy things, from taking bribes to cloning people, trying to cover that up, and making literal weapons of mass destruction. But what if I told you after the 2.2 story, they gave us a piece of information that might lead us to another one of the messed up practices that the government have been participating in? That being taking people's consciousness and uploading it into machines and turning them into their own personal killing machines. And if you haven't figured out what I'm talking about exactly quite yet, I'm talking about specifically at this point how they took Orpheus and turned them into Magus. That being, they were able to salvage some pieces of Orpheus's consciousness and then place it into the gun that is Magus. So it's not entirely Orpheus anymore, but it is still them at the same time. They took a part of them and placed it inside of the gun to try and save them. And that's not even mentioning that, the body that Magus is attached to is Orpheus's cloned body, but we're not going to talk about that. We're more interested in the concept of taking somebody's consciousness, placing it inside of a machine. And I want to focus on this so much because I believe that every intelligent construct used to be a person. Now, if you don't know, an intelligent construct is essentially a self-aware machine that can think and act and make their own decisions without outside intervention. On top of that, the most important thing for a intelligent construct is they have to pass the forbidden fruit test. Now, in game, they never exactly explain what the forbidden fruit test is, but one can guess from its name and how important it is for a intelligent construct to pass a test to be considered one is that the forbidden fruit test is probably being able to go against orders and show free will, or being able to go against the 3 laws of robotics. Those laws being, 1, a robot must not injure human beings or through inaction allow a human being to be harmed. 2, a robot must obey the orders given to it by human beings except when such orders would conflict with the first law. And 3, a robot must protect its own existence as long as such protection does not conflict with the first and second law. And the exact method of making an intelligent construct, even though it is still used today, in the game world, they never exactly say what it is, but it is said that it does trace back to the old civilization, and both Queen Yi and Billy are from that time period. Now, before we go forward, there are some things that I should mention, one being that intelligent constructs are fully recognized as citizens of New Eridu, along with humans and Thyrans. So do keep in mind that they are not second-class citizens like Bangbu. They are actually considered people, which is something that should be taken very seriously in this justification of them once being humans, because why would the government consider them people if they never were in the first place? Just because you give something free will and everything else doesn't mean you have to consider it on the same level as a person. So the fact that they made that specific distinction that these are on the level of regular humans is very important. On top of that, many things that the Defense Force planned for intelligent constructs was shot down, such as implanting the Iron Order in all intelligent constructs was not allowed because of ethical reasons, which poses a question of why would it be unethical to make it to where, these supposed machines wouldn't just follow orders. Now, it does seem contradictory to give them free will to then take it away, but you could see it as a backup plan so they don't end up taking over the world, something like that. But when looking at Queen Yi, she is a very old intelligent construct, and she was found in the old capital. And over time, she underwent numerous modifications, including the installment of a emotion module, which apparently she didn't have before. So maybe the current scientists understood that, for them to be a complete person, they need emotions. Either that or her emotion module was damaged and they need to put in a new one. Either way, this just tells us one of the key components that go into an intelligent construct, which is the fact that they can feel emotions. But when thinking about them taking human personalities and putting them into robots, I honestly don't believe they can put the entire human personality inside of one robot. They probably just take pieces and aspects of said people and then place them inside of machines. And then from that point forward, they start becoming more of their own individual people. Because it would seem that most intelligent constructs do not have memories of their past life. Magus is a special case because they were made with the sole purpose of preserving someone's actual identity. But in the cases of like a tin master, people who make coffee, they probably just take the memories of a barista and just keep the skills and then places it inside the machine and then let the machine figure out the rest of its life on its own. Because I'm pretty sure the Tin Master that's on 6th Street and the Tin Master that's in Fuman Heights act differently towards Bell and Wise. One treats them like an old friend while the other one treats them as another customer. So even though they are the same machine, they have different experiences. They could have came from the same barista. But at the same time, once the logic core is placed inside the robot, that's when they become themselves. Similar to how it was in Soma, where the main character essentially split the personality, one remaining on Earth while the other one went to space. They are both the same person, but now they are experiencing different things, which in turn changes who they are. Now, why are some mass-produced and others aren't? Like, why are there very special cases where, you know, some intelligent constructs just get the one singular body while others are mass-produced? That is probably more so due to a corporate thing, in the way that the government wanted a lot of seniors and a coffee company would want many Tin Masters. There could have been more Queen Yees, but, you know, she was the only one that survived. Same with Billy. They didn't see no need into essentially revitalizing a old model for no reason when they probably can make better ones now. But I have felt this way, that the intelligent constructs have once been human ever since the C animation with the love, death, and constructs. Because seeing Seed Senior show such emotion and desire to prove that he does have a heart, essentially proving that he is a real person, he has a soul and everything else, really made me think that these just can't be machines. And at their 2.2 with Megas, them literally saying, oh yeah, we took this person's consciousness and placed it inside of this goddamn gun, it just further reinforced that mindset of, yeah, these things used to be humans. Because even though Seed Senior does have the Iron Order implanted in him, you can see how much anguish he feels when he's told to kill this little girl. And he quite literally destroys himself to prove a point that I have a heart, I am a real person. I do not simply follow orders. And once he does break through that boundary between following orders and not following orders, his metal shell is removed and he does show to have, you know, a light, transparent body, or what can be interpreted as a soul. Yeah, but the last thing I'll say about this theory relates to Veronica, who is a medic who worked with the government and worked on all the seed units. Even she sees them all as individual people, because she makes the statement of, if you put a different brain in someone's body, would they still be the same person, in correlation with the government trying to put new logic cores in the old Seed Senior models. And keep in mind, she has gone to dangerous lengths to protect these bodies of her fallen comrades, because that's what she sees them as. So wouldn't someone who has worked closely with the government for years know about the secret sauce behind how intelligent constructs are made? Just think about it for a while. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed the video. Like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. I will see you in the next one. Hope y'all learned something new, and bye-bye.